Really? Want to welcome everybody to Parent with Purpose. Today we're going to be talking to Anna Marie. If you have any questions, go to parentwithpurpose.ca, click on the tab that says Talk Show, and in the search button, put Anna Marie's name as well. The link will be down below in case you need that. And that will pull up this video, and leave your comments there, and either Anna Marie or myself will get back to you and try to answer any questions you have. So welcome, Anna Marie.
Thank you.
So you are a mom of 4 boys.
I am.
How do you find doling out consequences? Do you struggle with that as a mom? Do you think it's easier with less kids, or does it matter?
The only way it matters, I think, is that the others see what you're doing, and they kind of, they kind of see, oh, well, mom didn't follow through on that one. She probably won't. Yeah. I can try this.
So your mistakes become much more evident than it would with less kids in the house.
Yeah.
That's
if it's only one, not necessarily would you, they're not learning from someone else's mistakes.
Right.
And I think that's kind of it. The first one gets the harshest punishments.
Yep.
And then it kind of gets less on the way down. So the last one is like, yeah, do what you want. I'm just so tired.
Okay, is the lesson going to be big enough for her, like you did with the hockey? Absolutely. Yeah. So what do you, I mean, the biggest struggle I had was trying to find consequences that actually, they say fit the pun, yes, right? Yes. Make the crime, the punishment fit the crime.
Yes.
So how do you go about doing, because we've discussed this before, it really is very difficult when the punishment is more of a, more of a hardship for us than them. So, so what do we do with that? How do we fix that, especially with 4 kids? Like,
what's
the solution?
I don't know.
I think not either.
I think that, you have to think about it. You have to give yourself a little time out before you dole out a punishment.
Yeah.
Like my husband, he's right into, oh, you did this is what's going to happen. And takes everything away. And he doesn't think it through.
Right.
Like, who is this really punishing? And am I going to get the right... Is he going to know why he's being punished? Like, is this really going to hit home properly?
Right.
Because if you're taking one thing away, but he did something else, is that going to remind him not to do that again?
Right.
Or whatever,
good point,
right?
Yeah.
So I think it's really, really hard to do it in the moment. I think you have to take a few minutes. And that's what I try and do now, is say, you know what? You did this wrong. I'm not talking to you about it right now.
Oh, that's good.
But there are going to be consequences.
Right.
So enjoy your life for the next 10 minutes. Because when I remember, you're in trouble.
But I've had a cup of coffee and I can think this one through.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to wish I'd just given you one on the moment. So you're finding that it's funny because my husband did the same thing, right? He would get mad at the moment. He'd throw punishment at them. And I finally had to beg him to stop doing that because he was punishing me more than them. And I felt it was more important to stick through with the consequence, even though it was killing me. But then I pulled him aside at one point and said, this is enough. Like, if you can't stop losing your temper or whatever, and if you could just please start thinking rationally, and if you can't, leave it up to me, because you're hurting me more than him. Right? I was a stay-at-home mom, so anytime a punishment had to be doled out or carried through, it was me. Mm-hmm. So I totally get that, and it's tough one to do. So does your husband let you do that now? Does he kind of leave that up to you, or does he still every once in a while just...
Every once in a while, it just jumps right in, but...
the kids know?
They know when Dad makes a punishment, Mom's not going to follow through. And that's where it's really hard, because, then they know they can get away with it.
Right, they know that they're pitting Mom against Dad almost.
Yeah, just wait a little bit and it'll be all fine,
Do you follow up with that after? Like, is there something you can do after that? Like, if Dad's doled out the punishment and you can't follow through with it, is there another way that can be solved?
Well, I'm working on it now.
Yeah. Well, good. So we're going to come back and talk about this in another 6 months. They're going to tell us.
And I'll tell you what happened this week.
So you're trying to come up with ways.
Yeah.
And isn't that true that that's really what parenting is all about, though?
Oh, it is. There's no golden book out there that's going to give you all the answers. It's kind of trial and error, and every kid's different, like we were talking about before. Every kid is totally different. Here's 4 boys that have been brought up in the same house with the same parents. They should be the same. They're completely different.
Completely
There's,
different.
I mean, there's similarities.
Yes.
My number 1 and my number 3 are very similar, and 2 and 4 are very similar, which is odd, but that's the way it works. But even being similar, there's still huge differences in their personalities.
And how you would handle them. sometimes,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. Like there's some, one I can just yell at, and there's another one that if I yell at him, he just closes up and goes into his room and nothing's been accomplished.
Right.
So
He closes
you
up
have to
personally.
you have
So-
to kind of know which way is going to work with each kid,
Yes.
and it is going to be totally different. You can't, and even the punishments can't be the same, because one thing, if you take one thing away from one kid, he'll be like, yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
And the other one would be like devastated. You're like, oh, you can't take, that's my life.
I have one that just the fact that she knew that she disappointed me was enough for her.
Yeah, sometimes the word disappointed is way better than I'm angry at you.
So, oh yes. And then another one's kind of like, well, I don't care that you're disappointed.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Like, they just don't care. So then you have to hit a little bit, on a personal level and take something away or something that matters to them. So yeah, there is no, and I guess that's one of the reasons why I even do what I do, is because I really struggled when I was raising my kids, feeling the judgment from other people. And I can't blame them for doing that, because I did it to other people before I had kids. I was convinced I had this all figured out, and then I had kids and realized, oh man, and I just got one figured out, and then the next one come along, and she was completely different than the first one. I was like, okay, this is exhausting, and it's guilt-ridden. Like
Absolutely.
and there's so many parenting styles out there now. It's actually terrifying that we feel we have to fit into a mold of a parenting style when our kids are so, I can't raise the same way you do. You and I may have a lot of moral beliefs that are the same, or feel consequences might be the same, or our goals for what we want for our kids could be the same, and yet we're going to have to parent differently.
Oh, exactly.
So the whole point of this platform is that hopefully people can come in and share ideas and come and talk, so that other parents can see and go, okay, so it's okay that I'm not the same as my next door neighbor, and it's okay that I punish and they don't, and because we have to do what's best for our own family.
Yeah.
Right?
And I think the final outcome kind of shows you whether you're on the right track, like we were talking about before. When your kids go out of the house, are you getting the feedback that they're really good kids?
Yes.
So if other parents are coming along and saying, oh man, Josh is such a good kid. He cleared off the whole table. My kids don't do that. He cleared off the whole table when he came over for dinner the other night. Well, then you're doing the right thing. It doesn't matter how they're behaving at home. At least you know that they've got those values that you gave them.
Right.
And they know where to use them.
Right.
And that's huge, I think.
Well, I think the biggest thing about parenting is we have to figure out within ourselves what we feel is important to teach our kids, because we can't teach them everything. So we have to come up with goals that are very important. Our parenting and our journey and how we go about doing it will be completely different. It doesn't make either one of us bad parents.
Exactly.
So hopefully, the audience gets that, and that's the kind of things we want to talk about, and those are the discussions we want to have. So, Anne-Marie, I want to thank you for your time. As always, if you have any questions or concerns or comments, please come over to the site, check it out. Look on the tab that actually says Talk Show in parentwithpurpose.ca. Look for any title on there that has Anne-Marie on there, because she's going to actually have a few of them in there. And if you have any questions, leave them down below. As always, we want to wish you an awesome day.